Alright guys, come with me while I UV seal the bottom of my cups. First step is actually to scratch up or scuff up the bottom of your cup and then wipe it down and clean it really well with alcohol, but I don't show that here, but I'll show you the scratches later. Once it's completely dry, you're going to want to put a small bit of UV just around the rubber plug. Not too much, just enough to seal the plug, and then let it sit for about 5 minutes. Once the UV around the plug is dry, you're going to add another very small layer of UV resin and glitter on top of it. Again, less is more here. If you add too much resin, it's going to be very thick. It could create some unevenness. And if you add too much glitter, the resin may not dry well. So really less is more. You want just enough resin to hold the glitter down, very thin layer, and just enough glitter to fully cover your area. Don't go over the edges. Get it in the dip. That way it doesn't create unevenness when the cup is sitting and cause potential, pressure cracks in the future. And again, I'm just kind of showing you that I scuffed it up here. But then you do want to make sure you push the resin and glitter all the way to the edges of where you intend it to be. If your resin is self-leveling, which I strongly suggest, it'll self-level across the whole area that you push everything to. Now you will notice I'm also taking a lighter sometimes to the resin. That is to remove any air bubbles. Be careful with that though. Don't leave the lighter on there too much. You can also use your little wooden stick or tool to pull up bubbles and to the surface to pop them quicker. Also, between each step, make sure to cure your resin under a powerful enough UV lamp. Check and make sure it's powerful enough to cure the resin for at least 5 minutes. And when you touch it, it should be smooth and not tacky. You got to do at least 5 minutes. Sometimes you got to do a little more, especially if you used a lot of glitter. So just be careful. It should not be tacky. It should feel dry. For the last layer, the final third layer, I usually actually do it for about 10 minutes. Finally, you are going to notice I'm using a mask. I do suggest this, and gloves, honestly. Resin is pretty toxic. All right, now here you see me adding my final layer of resin. Again, less is more. This is the final third layer, and I want just enough resin to completely cover the bottom, not come over the edges, and create just a smooth surface over the glitter. So that's really it. I'm fairly careful. Again, I'm pushing it all the way to the edges, all the way to the sides, so it self-levels and creates a very flat, even surface. I do 3 layers because honestly, I do think it looks nice with the glitter, but it also creates a pretty hardcore seal. I do not expect any leaks to happen here, and if you're really careful, you won't cause pressure cracks. I've had no issues personally. This is what I highly recommend. Special shout out to the Crafty Glam, who I learned this from. And yeah, guys, this is it. This is the final result. I think it looks beautiful and it should prevent any leaks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to follow and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.